Can we learn how to conduct dialogue?
All of us can dialogue. From the moment we are trying to understand our surroundings. From the baby is discovering his mother, the baby is trying to understand, to see, to watch, and to mimic. In certain part of life, that process of learning is structured, it is more rigid, it is disciplined. We stop doing what is natural and we stop doing the process of learning about how are we acting with other human beings and what other human beings are trying to tell us and to reach towards us. The process of dialogue and the learning of dialogue is possible for every human being who has a certain aspect of empathy. If you have empathy, and most human beings have that, you will be able to have interest of what other people think of you, what other people bring into the table, what is the story of them. You cannot, as a human being, live in a bubble, isolated from all inputs. You can choose your input, you can choose who is going to allow you to communicate with you, but we know that information is often compartmentalized. You get a part of the story. The challenge of a modern society is that you need to see the whole picture. Who are members of your society that you are excluding, actively or passively, of communicating and telling the story into the community? So dialogue can be learned, and it should be learned, and it's part of it's very often you use the word resilience. Dialogue is one of the most important tools for the resilience of human beings and humanity. If you are not using the tools that nature and your social structure have allowed you to have, then you will need to figure out all solutions by yourself. And we see that that is not sustainable. It's not possible. You need to interact with every human being, including those who are living in the neighborhood that you don't like.
And what are the biggest obstacles to learn dialogue, the personal ones?
The biggest obstacle, there may be many. Many of them are very easy to understand, because when something bad have happened to people, there are often very strong emotions. People who are being brutalized or victims of violence, or something was stolen from them, or something was excluded. All sorts of crimes can be hurting people. Time passes, and then a process of conversations or communications start or should start between those two sides. They have stories that are not easy to forget. The process of dialogue needs to allow the story to be told. So they need to tell each other, what do they think happened? What do they think it happened to them? What do they think it happened to the other? And then when they have done that description of the crisis, the I in the crisis, the you in the crisis, they will be able to move to perhaps what should we do now with all the things that we know. They may continue to dislike each other. They may decide, shall we go and fix this? Or they may decide not to do anything about it. But at the least, they will have had the journey, that they listen to each other. The next time that social fabric will be in tension, we are very certain, and we have empiric evidence for it, that it is the next crisis will not be as serious as the previous one, because they know about the impact of the crisis or the previous one.
Thank you, Alfredo.